Hey yo, it's time to roar, get loud, let's ignite. Jeremy B in the house, we keeping it tight. Every weekday at 11, we ready to ride. Lions Talk Live, come and join the pride. Waking up early, it's that morning grind. Tune in to the show, leave the troubles behind. Jeremy B's the king, with the voice like thunder. Every word he spits, it's a lyrical wonder. Got the lions around, sharp and fierce. When we hear one pride, you can't help but feel your heart pierce. Talking all the topics, keep it real, keep it raw. With a lion's mentality, we're ready for the roar. One pride, it feels right. Jeremy B bringing the heat, morning light. Every weekday at 11, we taking flight. Lions Talk Alive, yeah, we ready to bite. One pride, hear us loud. Jeremy's in the zone, making us proud.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
All right, the Lions have made a move. We signed slot corner Arthur Maulet, M-A-U-L-E-T, from the formerly of the Ravens. He was not with them this season. Somehow he didn't make the team, and we got one. We signed him to the practice squad, so that makes 4 on the practice squad now. He's been a decent slot receiver in the past in rotation for the Ravens, so I'm looking forward to seeing if he gets to play this weekend or not. Who knows? That's a signing. Hey, you can say bargain basement Brad, whatever you want to say, Dollar General Brad, he gets stuff done. But the big news that we got just before Terrion Arnold is not out for the season and may not even hit the IR. That is huge news for the Lions. Now, I keep hearing how bad Terrion Arnold was in coverage, and for the first 3 games he was. Does anybody realize what happened over the last 2 weeks while he was in coverage? And what happened just in the game on Sunday? It's important to know that while he was on the field, the Bengals only scored 3 points. That's what it is. That's why he's a slot corner. I'm not going to lie to you, but it's more depth. We needed that. That doesn't mean we're not going to sign someone to the active roster if somebody gets put to the IR. But Terrion Arnold over the last 2 weeks, I'm talking not the last 3 weeks. Yes, he did. And I have proof of it because Corey Woods put this out last night on Twitter. Let me get that comment off of there so we can read it all. Lions current cornerback Terrion Arnold has allowed just 50 receiving yards total over weeks 4 and 5 on 5 catches with 9 targets, 0 touchdowns, and 2 breakups. I bring up the 2 breakups in specifically because that was on Jamar Chase. For context, 55 CBs, including several who only played 1 game, have allowed more passing yards and coverage over the last 2 weeks. Derek Stingley, Quinyon Mitchell, Devin Witherspoon, Sauce Gardner, Christian Gonzalez, Denzel Ward, Cooper DeJean, Christian Benford, Tyson Campbell, Mike Sanrisco, L'Jarius Sneed, and Darius Slay. So let that simmer in your brain for a minute. All those names, and everybody considers them better than TA. Now, was his penalties costly? Did they come at bad times? Yes. Did they cost us the game? No. When he was on the field, the Bengals only scored 3 points. Once he went off the field and couldn't play anymore, they put up 21 points like it was nothing. 2 of them to Jamar Chase, if I remember right. One from 15 yards, and the other one was like a bomb type of pass where he ran it in. But Let's blame TA for everything. I mean, that's what I'm getting at. I've heard it through chat. I've seen it through comments on Gamecast when I was paying attention to them when the TV would go out because I'm using an off-air antenna. I heard one person call him even Jeff Okuda. He's not. He's not Jeff Okuda. But yes, I am defending Terrion Arnold right now because he made improvements in season. He has been better since midway through week 3 of the Ravens game. Smoking Dad has entered the chat. So yeah, let's put that up again. This is all the cornerbacks that gave up more yards than Terrion Arnold over the last 2 weeks. A 71.5 passer rating allowed ranks top 25 among 101 qualifying quarterbacks in that span. For context, 55 CBs have given up more yards. JB, speaking of truth and facts, I just dropped in to say hi since my meeting started late. Oh, JI! Good to see you. I just wanted to say he's not as bad as everybody thinks. His penalties come at a bad time, but he's still a young corner. Not every first round corner turns out like Sauce Gardner and Witherspoon in their first couple of years. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love the hat. It's actually the salute to service for this season. So yeah, I love it. This is actually like I got gray camo in it. I know you can't see it right now because it's too bright in here. I did that in honor. I did that in honor of everybody in my family that served. Thank you. But that's some big names that Terrion Arnold has done better than this past 2 weeks. Let's start at the bottom. Darius Slay, L'Jarius Sneed, Mikey Sandrisville, Tyson Campbell, Christian Benford, Cooper DeJean, Denzel Ward, Christian Gonzalez, Sauce Gardner, Devin Witherspoon, Quinyon Mitchell, Derek Stingley. That's some big names that give up more yards than TA. And that's what I'm getting at. The 2 penalties didn't cost us a game. The penalty last week didn't cost us a game. It cost a score. Thank you, JI. Love you, brother. Have a good meeting. I just get tired of the hate. So we signed a slot corner, Arthur Mallett, 5'9". He's taller than Meek Robinson on accident. So he must have a little dog in him. They saw something. So he gave up 5 catches for 50 yards and 0 touchdowns in 2 weeks. That's my point. PFF grades don't really count for corners because they'll take the penalties and make it dock them by like 20 points of penalty. So yeah, give him a 58, but he had an 82 in coverage. And he had a 79 in tackling. He held him to 28 yards. It was 3 catches for 28 yards on 6 targets, 0 touchdowns. I would like to add who did those CBs cover? They were well, yeah, I know. I know. They only allowed 2 catches in the Browns game for 22 yards. But it's the Browns. It was Joe Flacid. But the 4 penalties he had over the 2 weeks in the Browns game, those ones were more costly than the ones in the Ravens game. Is my point. Yes, Steve, good to see you. I know you got to be excited. You guys get to play Joe Flacid again. Aren't you guys playing the Bengals? Difference is I think the Bengals have a worse O line than the Browns did. I can't even believe that. Yeah, they traded for Joe Flacco yesterday, which means he could be on the active roster for Sunday because it happened before 4 p.m. It actually happened while we were live on the show. Round 2 with the Packers already. Holy shnikes. I think that's what it says. Is that not who you guys play? Yeah. Bengals at Green Bay. Wow. But I did make my pick. There was another trade that happened. There was. I'm sorry. He can't be worse than Jake Browning. What trade was that, sir? Educate me, because I haven't been paying attention to much other than the fact that what happened when I was doing the show. The Cam Robinson one happened before that. Oh yeah, that one. Alohi Tillman, I think it was the safety, or Alohi Gilmore, whatever it was. Then they swapped some late picks, and Owe went to the Chargers. I don't understand that because they need they need O line help bad. That's just my opinion. Rumor is Russell Wilson's on the trade block. Go figure. Yes. Yes, you did. They leapfrog over the Eagle and the Bills, who lost last week to teams they shouldn't have. Yeah, the Bengals got Joe Flacco for a 2026 sixth round in exchange for a 26 fifth round pick. So they gave a sixth round in Joe Flacco and got back a fifth round pick. Jerry Jones during the loss got fined $250,000 for an inappropriate gesture. I think he extended a foreign relations. Oh yeah, it's because they're home. I'm still picking the Lions. Jackson Dart was upgraded to a full participant on Tuesday. Darius Slayton did not practice. Right tackle Jermaine Elimunor did not practice. Swayze Bozeman, linebacker, did not practice. And Demetrius Flanagan Fowles, linebacker, was a practice. Was a I know, Dad. Our secondary will be just fine. Our backup burners are capable, and with McNeil coming back, our D line will limit the pressure on him. I agree. I said we're probably going to do more 5-man fronts once Aleem gets back. That, or it's going to be worse for a certain team. Lions Lions should be giving at least 3 points to the Chiefs. Vegas knows something. I disagree. I have them in the top 10, but it's at the bottom of it. It's either 9 or 10, and it's because they're 2-1-1. Because after that, there's a whole bunch of 2-win teams. There's not very many at the 4 and 3 win mark this year. Uh, the 4-win teams should all be in the top 5, in my opinion, even if they lost. I would have it right now: Lions, Bucks, Bills, Eagles, and then you go down. Then it's probably the Colts. I would have the Colts as the next 4-1 team. Then the Jaguars. You can flip the Colts and Jaguars if you want, because they're in the same division. Then you got the Rams at 3-2. Got a whole bunch of 3-2 teams. But I still think, because they're 2-1-1, they don't have a second loss. I would probably put the Packers at 9 or 10. And I'm not even trying to be a hater saying that. You've had an emergence of Rashawn Gary since Micah Parsons got there. Yes, Micah Parsons doesn't have the sack totals that everybody expected him to do, but that's because he's chipped and double and triple team, kind of like the start of the season for Hutch. Let's not sugarcoat it. But that's the difference. There's a stud on the other side. But at the same time, Al Qadim Muhammad has 4.5 sacks. Oh yeah, that's the only thing that the bye week sucks about. It helps to get healthy, but I hate when it's early. As I said before, Jags will be the most improved team. Lawrence looks good and improved. Hey, for so far, he looks fine. I still think he's a bum until he gets past the first round of the playoffs. I love how people say, "Yeah, you haven't made it past the first round of the playoffs for the Lions." They forget we played in the NFC Championship game 2 years ago. We just didn't make it out the first round last year. There's a difference. I like speaking in facts and not in historic. I said the Colts would be improved. I said they got a competent O line. They've got a good defense. All they needed was a quarterback that can work with the O line. So far, it's Indiana Jones. But the most interesting thing about golf I can put up is what I put up yesterday. It's this one. The only QBs in NFL history to complete 75% of their passes and throw for 12 plus touchdown and a passer rating of 120 plus through 5 games in any season. In 2013, it was Peyton Manning. In 2025, it's Jared Goff. Amen. So even though we're 4-1, it's a 1.5 game lead over the Packers. It's a 1 game lead over the Vikings, who does not have a loss in the division. Neither does Green Bay. But that's the but. 3 wins is more than 2 1-1. The Packers are not second; they're third. Third. They dropped the third because they only have 2 wins. That's how math works. I know some people can't math, but that's how math works. Joe Mixon's not returning anytime soon. Still, they have no timeline on him for the Texans. It's going to be a rough year. So Chiefs game, I say 38-14. Casey is cooked. I love it. If that's the way it goes, but I'm going to. Boy, I hope you're right, Jim. Packers going to lose the Flacco twice. It would be hilarious. I don't expect it because they don't have an O line. Hmm. Has the Chiefs scored 27 points all year? I'm asking for a friend. Let me check the scoreboard from last week. Oh, they finally scored 28 points last Monday. Looks like it's going to be on NBC. Yeah, I know. That's why I picked the Packers to win. But it would be funny. It'd be funny for that reason that Jim said there. I'll go skydiving off a curb if we lose to him again. Yeah, because 2-2-1 looks a lot worse, don't it? Yeah, be honest. I mean, it would feel like the wheels are falling off. But I'm just trying to put it in perspective for our Lions fans that think that Terrion Arnold is the next Jeff Okuda, because in the last 2 weeks he proved he's not. We actually saw improvement since midway through the third game versus the Ravens. No, they're still starting Dylan Gabriel, they said. It's hilarious, dude. Shaduki Sanders. We're giving 14.5 points. I know, because 3 of those are because you're home. So that's an 11.5 point neutral site game, if you think about it. I have to grab my soda. But man, oh man, it's going to be fun. I get that, but what if he fails? Sanders is a risk. But what if he did have some? Yeah, he had 13 of them over 12 losses. That's the lion that should have been on the Wizard of Oz. uh, I predicted the Lions 4-1 after 5 games. The loss, however, was to Baltimore. Yes, you did. I said 3-2. I said 3-2 because we thought Burrow was playing, and I didn't know if we'd lose in Burrowhead. Yes. And all the other North fans said we'd be 1 or 4 or worse. Who's sucking hind tit now? It is fun to say that. But at the same time, we can't be rude. Go, dude, for 45 years, 44, 46 years of my fandom, we have sucked. Tomorrow's my birthday. 55 years old. Been a fan since I was 5, watching it with my dad, sitting on his lap, or my grandpa, watching the Lions. And you know what? I haven't had much to cheer for other than individual accolades. Billy Sims, Charlie Sanders, Gary Danielson. Um, can't say Andre Ware, he was shit. Terry Fair over Randy Moss, I still cry about that draft. It hurt. Fuck that. Be rude, damn it. We've been through them suck ass years. It's our turn to be the I know, I know, I know, I know. I'm writing my review right now. I was inserting information for the game right now. I've been a Lions fan for so long. The fact the Lions are a class of the league, me, amen, brother. And he goes, and good at it, Jim. Hey, you know who helped us get here? Seeing stuff like this. Who put that bobblehead on the practice field for Green Bay? All right. I'm with you, Joe. I've been watching since the youth league days in the summer of '69. Yeah, you finally got a win. We started off with a win and fizzled out. My first three Detroit Lions games were at Tiger Stadium. Lem Barney, where's my hero? Yes, Lem Barney, the OG 20 of the Lions, going to the Hall of Fame. When Judge hit that home run, he looked at the camera and said, "That was you, Steve." You still think the Lions consider? Nope. I don't think they're going for Hendrickson at all. Yes, it is one of the best pitching rotations. Yes, sir. We are young at heart with this team. Like I said, in less than 24 hours, I officially am 55 years old, starting my 56th revolution around the sun. I remember week one, I did not predict a win 2 years ago when we played the Chiefs. That I did not predict a win in Arrowhead. I said we could win. I didn't say we would. I thought we were going to lose. But while I was sitting here, I just wrote my review for this preview for this week. While I was sitting here, I finished it. Had to do a couple of inserts and stuff like that. That's what I was frustrated over. That's why I got quiet. I remember how to put them in. I applied for SSA this year, older than dirt here. I love watching these kids playing today, but Barry, yes, I love seeing Barry. Okay, AL games are both 2-1, and the NL games are both 2-0. Yeah, I know. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's about that time I do those sponsors I love to do. Yes, the fist fights at the Silverdome are the best. The bathrooms were the worst. That was the worst part of going to the Silverdome was those damn bathrooms. Oh my God, they were horrendous. But let's give it up for last place at 2-2. It's my Bears, who are coming off a bye, going to Washington. And then we got the Bengals coming into FT. Back to back. Minnesota second place at 3-2. They got the gold buck. And number one at 4-1 on a 4-game win streak, it is the mighty Detroit Lions, kings of the North until we're knocked off the throne. Coming out of Flint, where the water's shit, but the tires are good. Hey, Steve, I do it. Joe Flacco is going to beat the Packers again for the second time this season. You're the second person to say that today. It's amazing where we are now as a franchise. I'm going to be 35 in a month. Growing up, looking at the schedule, it was always, oh, that's a L, that's a L, that's a L. At best, we're going 7. Amen, brother. And I'm going to close it out like I always do. Try every day to be a better person than you were the day before. That's the only way to make the world a better place. It starts right here. Much love to everybody in the chat. Even you, Steve, even though you're a Packer fan, I love you. I just don't love you when we play your team. How's that? Take the play and not the game. Have a good one, everybody. Oh, now looking at the schedule, if we can beat any of these teams, the games are going to be difficult. But I'm down to the toss-ups now. The games I thought we'd lose, we didn't. Have a great day, everybody.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.